Guys, welcome to ACAR's Raw Podcasts featuring the one and only Boxing Barber, Florian. Say what's up, my man.
What's up, guys? How you all doing?
So today we're taking a different approach and we're getting a haircut while I'm getting a haircut. Oh my god. Doing a video while I'm getting a haircut. Brain's not working yet. So, Flo, the Boxing Barber here, has been a boxer for... I can't breathe.
So what's wrong?
Nice way to start the video.
Just helping you.
God,
Putting you under pressure.
Shit.
See how you react.
But I'm trying to talk and he's choking the shit out of me. Oh man. Dying out here. I mean, this chair isn't getting any better. It's just getting more squeakier as we go over time.
Yeah, it needs a bit of an oil, hey?
Bro, you know the oil, barber oil you put on, your clippers?
I'm gonna oil it.
I think you need to put that barber oil on the actual barber chair.
Yeah.
I think that's going to change lives.
I think so too.
So how long have you been a barber for, my man?
Just over 4 years now?
Over 4 years.
Yeah.
How have you leveled up in such a short time period?
What do you mean by leveled up?
Can we see you in the frame? Or are you outside of the frame?
I'm in the front.
Okay. In the sense of, look, usually for someone to get to a point in their business where they've got to a point, they've got staff working for them, they've got their own, business running under a name, a tax ID, and
Oh, okay. So you mean like because I'm self-employed.
you're self-employed. You have regular clients.
Yeah.
You make a regular income. With that income, you're living outside of home. You're running your business from your place as a barbershop.
Yeah.
So how have you managed to get to the point of, maintaining such a lifestyle from one income?
It's like like anything, right? A business or what you want to do is go out and start your business, right? You just have to go and do it. You're never going to make money at the start of it. So instead of, I guess I can only relate to it in the barber industry or to other barbers, I don't know any other industry, how hard it is or how easy it is to start your own business and do your own thing. But for me, a lot of barbers, they want to work in a shop and they're constantly telling themselves, I need to do X amount of time before I can, do my own thing. I need this much experience, I need that much experience. And look, that's fair enough, you definitely need experience. But for me, I've only been barbering for about over 4 years. And in the scheme of things, that's not very long, right? A lot of people barber for a lot longer, or people that do their trade, they do it for a lot longer before they actually dive in and start their own business. But if you're confident in your skills and you're willing to take a risk and to just go and see what happens, because you can always go back to being an employee and working for someone. So I guess the short answer is just have confidence, believe in yourself, and just go and do it. If you want to start a business, realize that when you first start, of course you're not going to make any money. It takes time, and just jump in and just give it a go and just see where it can take you.
Do you think that it's a good idea to start multiple businesses at the same time?
No.
Or is it better to start one business and just make sure that builds up and is successful before you start another business?
Yeah, personally, you definitely have to focus on one thing. Focus on one thing, give it all your attention, and then once it's to a point where you're happy with, and you can do it with your eyes closed, so to speak, then start something else.
So should there be like a time frame on like how long you put in place for it to become successful? Obviously you don't know when a business is going to become successful, right? But you have goals and you have deadlines, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, if it doesn't hit this by 2 years, then we're going to change things up. And if they don't work by 5 years, then I'm going to ditch this idea because it's costing me too much. Like, is that something you did with your business or?
Yeah, I did in a sense. And I wasn't sure how long it would take me to be able to employ somebody. I just knew that that's what I wanted to do. So definitely you should give yourself a time limit, but also be flexible. So it's really tricky. It's like, give yourself a time limit, but be flexible, and you have to take everything into consideration. So you're like, okay, by 3 years, I want this, and you don't get it in 3 years, but in that 3 years, you get to a point where you're pretty close to it, right? So you know something's working. If you're still at the same point or very similar to where you started after like years, depending on what your time frame is, then maybe you should try something different, or you're in the wrong industry or whatever. So yeah, definitely give yourself a time limit, because otherwise, how do you measure anything? You know what I mean? If you've been doing something for the last 3 years, you're not getting better, you're not making any money, nothing's changed, then obviously it's not working. So you should give yourself a time frame, but you also need to be quite flexible and see where you've started and where you've come from and what's changed, and add it all up.
And if you're giving yourself a time frame and things are not working out, but it's something that you're really passionate about, then what do you suggest someone does?
Well, I think if you're really passionate about it, it's pretty hard to fail, in my opinion. Like if you're constantly putting yourself out there and you love what you do, and everyone you come across in your business or in your industry, they can see that, right? They can feel that. So it's, for me, I think it's really hard not to succeed if you're never going to give up and you're in love with what you do. Like, yeah, so because it's never going to feel like you're not having fun or not having a good time, even if you're not making money, because you're so passionate about it, right?
Yeah.
And eventually that passion will convert into money, because somebody out there will see that and they'll be like, well, I only want to deal with this guy because I can see how much he loves it or how much she loves it. So that it really depends how strong your passion is as well. Because a lot of people say they're passionate about it, and then a couple of years go by and they're like, oh, I can't do this anymore, I don't love it. Well, if you loved it, you wouldn't worry about the money, right? So it's tricky.
That's very true. I mean, as long as you've got some kind of income to support your lifestyle before you take something full time, you can't just go jump into something full time and expect to make a full time living out of it, right? Especially if you just start. Like a lot of people are like, oh, I want to make this a full time career. How did you do it? How did you do it? Like,
yeah,
I don't want to work in retail. I don't want to work my 9 to 5 job. How do I start? But they're like, they're like 18, 19, 20. It's funny because there's a lot of 18, 19, 20-year-olds out there that, they don't ask those questions. They just go and figure it out, and they'll pump it, and they'll just make it happen, But then you get those 18, 19, 20-year-olds, and I'm saying this from experience because I have a few of them in my life right now, right? That they'll say, how do you do it? And they'll just keep asking the same question.
Yeah.
But they're doing something about it in their life, but they're not, I don't know, it's like they're not doing the right things, I guess. Or they're overthinking about it.
Yeah.
And they're stuck in a rut of I want to do this, but I don't know.
Yeah.
And then they're just going into their 9 to 5, and they're just miserable. And it's like, why don't you change things up a bit? Maybe if you don't like doing that, do something you do like, even though it's not based off your career or whatever. As long as it's getting you some money for the next 24 months, and then build up what you really want to do on the other 2-3 days of the week that you're not working, right? But the thing is, I feel like when you're that young, you have to give up your social life. You have to give up going clubbing every weekend. You have to give up going drinking out with your mates if you want to have your own business and work for yourself full time by the time you're mid-20s. Do you know what I mean?
100%, man.
Because if you don't do it,
it's sacrifice. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you have to sacrifice something to get somewhere. Because you can't work 4 or 5 days a week for someone else, and then those other 2 days of the week go out, be like, oh, I need to,
just magically
I need
make money off the side hustle. Yeah.
I need a break, I need to go drink with my mates, I need to socialize, I need this and that. And then, you know, you're like, oh, how do I start making this my full-time career? Say, for example, whatever you're doing on the side. So this is my passion, but I don't know how to make it full-time. It's like, well, you're working 5 days a week for someone else. And then on the weekends, you're giving all your time and your money away to things that are just fulfilling you for the moment in life.
Yeah.
You're not building anything. So like, you're doing it to yourself.
That's right.
So in the sense of, you want to get somewhere, then cut out all the bullshit. Forget about the social life, forget about the clubs, forget about the parties, forget about the fast cars, the women, you know, the crazy lifestyle, forget about all that. For 7 years, just go hard and just forget about it. Just focus on what you want to do, how you're going to do it, and all your spare time, that's what you're doing with your spare time.
Yeah.
And then in 7 years, your mates that, you know, are still doing that will either like still be working 9 to 5s, but you'll be out of your 9 to 5 and you'll be doing what you love and you won't have to do that anymore. And then you can, you know, think back a little bit more. But I mean, obviously you'll ease back off a little bit considering it's a full-time thing now. But I don't know, a lot of these kids don't see that, man. They want to live, they want to have the party life, and they want to work 9 to 5, and they want to do that, like build up their passion in a career, in a new career for themselves. I'm like, you can't do that, it's not possible. You're not. There's only 7 days in a week, 24 hours in a day. You have to give up something. That's why it's called sacrifice.
Sure.
You know? You're still going to be young when you're 30. Not as young as when you're 20, but you're still going to be young when you're 30.
Yeah.
So if you start at 20, you know, by the time you're 30, you should be like much better place in life if you do it right.
That's it.
So yeah, this has been a lot of people have just been, you know, asking how to do it, and I think that's how you do it.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you, in terms of, you know, barbering, what defines a good barber to you?
It's a couple of things, man. Obviously, somebody that can cut hair.
Yeah.
Any type of hair. Good communication skills. Professionalism. And, you know, when you say professionalism, what is professionalism, right? It's pretty, it's a combination of things. You're always on time. You're always give a good service. You know, you don't make excuses. You look after your clients. You know, you make this service a professional service. You know, it's not like you have to respect their time and your time. So it's a bunch of different things. And the thing is, you don't have to be the best at cutting hair. You have to be good, but you don't have to be the best, right? You have to have a bunch of different things. Your barber could come to you because you're really good at cutting hair, but also it's an experience. You make them feel good. You know their particular hairstyle. You know things about them that you can have a chat with. So yeah, it's a couple of different things, and you know, it's also how you present yourself as well. And if they don't think you're professional or, you know, whatever, then, you know, sometimes that could be a downfall. So you have to be the whole package to be good as a barber, not just be able to cut hair. So yeah, it is a couple of different things, and you probably know that as same thing about being a DJ, right? You can be a great scratcher, you can know how to mix, but if you look like shit, you're not professional, and you don't know how to talk to people, you know, it can, unfortunately, it can have an effect to your job, your job role, and how people see you. right?
Bro, my biggest ick about DJs is when they rock up to a gig, whether it's a private gig or a club gig, and they're in slides. I'm like, bro, I don't care if they're Louis Vuitton. Wear some shoes, man. It's not professional.
No, it's
To
not.
rock up to a gig, you're getting paid $100 to $500 an hour, and you're wearing slides? Like, bro, with socks on. Like, and if you're not wearing socks and you're wearing nothing, it's even worse.
Bro, that's actually crazy. Like, I can't believe that happens.
It happens.
Like,
And I don't want to mention
especially-
names, but there's people out there that I know that are doing it.
yeah, see that no one's gonna take you seriously if you're doing shit like that.
I thought, how am I supposed to pay you, a couple of $100 per hour if you're rocking up in slides?
That's it.
I feel like you don't take this thing seriously.
No, that's right. They don't.
Who does that? Like, is there no profession? Like, have you not got any kind of professionalism, any sense of? I want to ask
you.
you,
You just answered your own
Yeah,
question.
literally, like, where's the sense of professionalism in your, understanding of what professionalism is? Or what do you think the professionalism is? If you're rocking up in slides.
What makes you think that that's okay?
That's the biggest thing I
You know
want
what
to
I
know.
mean? How is that okay?
What?
That's not okay.
How do you think that's okay? Like at home, yeah, cool. You're going out for dinner, okay, cool. If it's just a casual dinner, but like you're getting paid to rock up somewhere and be professional, and you're rocking up with slides. Come on, like, I feel like there needs to be a course on professionalism before you get into the workplace.
Well, that's the other side of things. People don't actually realize that just because you're a DJ or just because you're a barber doesn't mean you can get away with that sort of
Nah.
shit. You know what I mean? Like you said, somebody's paying them, and this is how they portray themselves in slides.
Yeah.
Like, what? Come on, man. You're here, and everybody's looking at you because you're
Yeah.
on stage,
Yeah,
or you're cutting somebody's hair, or whatever it is,
yeah,
and you're wearing slides. Like, you know what I mean? See, this is an example of people that aren't professional. And people that, probably won't survive in the industry for reasons like that.
but the thing is,
Because-
like, it doesn't make sense because they do survive. I just don't know how.
Oh, well then they know people.
That's it.
Yeah. If you know people or you're already big,
Yeah,
then that's different. If
Yeah.
you're already big, people don't care because they're like, oh, that's just him.
it's stupid, right? Because like,
Because if Conor McGregor or
yeah,
somebody famous
yeah,
rocked up to a fancy restaurant, which you probably never would because he's professional,
Yeah.
in slides, they
Yeah.
wouldn't give a shit.
Nah.
Because it's Conor McGregor.
I know,
Right?
right.
But me or you, different story.
I
They're
know.
like, who's this fucking bum? Who do you think he is rocking in
Yeah.
here with, So, yeah, if you're already established, you may be able to get away with it.
But it's just stupid in the sense of that's what society has come to. If you're already a name,
Well, I think they're just trying to, I guess, show up at the same time.
you reckon?
Well, yeah, if somebody does that, they're like, well, I don't care who or where I'm going, this is how I'm going to dress because I'm the bee's knees. Obviously. And they just don't care. Like Michael Jordan, he could rock up anywhere wearing his basketball singlet and slides and nobody would question it.
Yeah,
So,
literally.
but that's different. He's a legend,
Yeah, of course.
And he's also saying to you guys, like, I don't have to impress you anymore. I don't have to do
Yeah.
this. But for professional people, there's a level of professionalism, definitely.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It says a lot about yourself, too.
I think it does.
If you can't be fucked putting on shoes, or like a spray of deodorant, or having a shower, or like the basic stuff, like, come on.
Bro, not even that. Talking about shower, if you get out of bed, right, you don't wash your face. You don't clean the nasty shit out of your eyes or your nose. You don't have a shower. Your hair looks like, bed hair when you just wake up.
Yeah.
And you rock up to work, or a gig, or a client. What is that? Like, what's all that about?
I don't know, man.
Like, why do people do things like this? No perfume, no gum, didn't brush your teeth, didn't have a shower. What do you think this is? This is not bloody school where you rock up and you don't care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how have not been... This is the thing. School doesn't teach you all this stuff, man. They don't teach you professionalism. They teach you to a sense. Like, yeah, you gotta... But they don't teach you for the real world. You know?
No, they don't.
There's no education system saying, okay, in this class you're going to learn what to do when you get out into the workplace.
No, well, your parents should teach you that.
Yeah, but
So,
what do parents know?
School. What do you mean?
Parents
School teaches you
Yeah.
how to be a worker. That's it. And school teaches you English, math, science, all the subjects you choose. School doesn't teach you how to dress unless
No.
you're going to a private school
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
So your parents should teach you.
Should.
Yeah.
Should.
Well, I wouldn't let my kids walk out of the house, especially at an older age, or going to school without having a shower, some breakfast, washing his face or his or her face, wearing something half decent, putting shoes on, whatever, brushing their teeth, whatever, right?
Yeah.
School doesn't actually teach you that. That's your parents' job, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So you can't blame school for that, but school's definitely going to complain to your parents when, Johnny rocks up every day like he's just rolled out of bed.
Yeah.
It doesn't look good on the parents. So that it's not the school's fault if you're not showered or dressed. That's your parents' fault. But it is the school's fault, if you can't fucking write a sentence.
Yeah.
Or you can't do a simple equation.
Yeah.
That's the school's fault.
Yeah. But in terms of professionalism, I feel like sometimes people are only told about it when they get caught out about it. You know what I mean? Or like they'll get a review. Oh, he rocked up in X, Y, and Z, or he came like 2 hours late. Like people only learn from mistakes these days.
The hard way.
The hard way. They'll learn from a bad review, a bad client, negative experience, or someone said something and they found out through the grapevine. That's how people learn, right? And it's unfortunate because it's like the long way to learn, the hard way to learn, and it affects your image, your business, and your presentation, and your branding,
Yeah.
I mean, but I guess in the first couple of years of business and growth, that's how it happens, right?
Well, obviously, in my opinion, if people are doing that, they're not serious about their business. That's my opinion. Like I said, unless you're already established, if somebody's paying you to do a job, and part of your job is to be in the public eye or on stage or something like that, then you obviously don't take your business very seriously.
Yeah. What up? How are you?
Good.
That's good.
It's been a while.
I know. I feel like I saw you 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, so as always, look sharp, feel good.
Oh yeah.
The Boxing Barber. Looking fresh. Ready for this weekend, Easter long weekend.
Oh,
Tonight, Albion Fridays, which is usually on a Friday, but today is Thursday. It's Easter, so we're doing Albion Fridays tonight. Tomorrow I'm filming a big music video production for El Rapper, MC Rapper of the running of Candy Saturdays. Saturday is Candy Saturdays, as you all know, at Shark Hotel. And Sunday, we're running full moon party at Shark Hotel where Candy normally is. Because there's a full moon, as you all saw last night. I couldn't sleep because this damn moon was in my face. I had my window open, my bad, but I needed some fresh air. And it was so bright, I feel like someone had the headlights on all night. I'm like, man, this moon is so bright. So, full moon party, Sunday. So the next 4 days of my life are going to be hectic. Thank you, Boxing Barber, my man.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you. Thanks for being on the pod. Hey, if you need a haircut, he's the man to go
Come see
to.
me. Come see me. I'll
Stay
look
tuned.
after you. I'm a professional.
And he's professional. He doesn't wear slides. He doesn't.
No
Look what he's wearing.
slides.
He's wearing. He's good. Look. He's wearing shoes.
And I brush my teeth.
And he brushes his teeth. And he just had a shower before I came over. So that goes to show that he doesn't stank.